Good morning and welcome back to Plannercraft. I'm Natalie and today we are going to be using the ScanCut as a scanner. So for this you will need a USB memory stick. So I'm going to talk about USB memory sticks in a little while, but first of all, morning Carol. I'm going to wait for a few of us to join before I get started. Morning Linda. Don't be afraid to say hi and let us know that you're watching. If you have any questions, you can pop them in the chat and I will try and answer them on stream. Morning Thea. Okay, so for this process you'll need, well, I'm going to be using my scanner, so hopefully that can get contrast and everything better for the photos. You're going to need a USB memory stick. Now I have seen that some people have tried some of the really large memory sticks in their ScanCut and then wonder why it doesn't work. The maximum I would suggest going for is the one that I use, which is the 16 gig Cruiser Blade USB by SanDisk. Now you are better to keep a number of USB sticks that are smaller and keep them for a purpose. So the blue one that I use, I know is going to be always on the machine. I have others that have files from when we did all the magazines, maybe another one that has lots of designs from design bundles and so on and so forth. The SanDisk Cruiser Blades come pre-formatted the correct way for your ScanCut, which is another reason why I like using them. If you are finding that your USB stick won't work with your machine and it's 16 gig or under, then the chances are it's been formatted incorrectly for the ScanCut. It's quite easy to change that. You can do it on your PC or Mac and just reformat it. Is that in? Is what in? Oh, in the photo. Sorry. Yes. Yes, that is a much younger looking in. So these are from before we got married. So literally out on a train ride, and a lovely sort of train. So going proper vintage. So we've got little picket fences, sun streaming through the trees, vintage carriages, details from the train, a waterfall that was at the station that we stopped at, and a bridge, as you do. So I thought it'd be really fun to try and do a scrapbook layout for these, but rather than, because there is no adhesive on the mat, I'm going to do a few individually. So let's say we're up to these. Now I'm going to turn them around so that I can see if I can fit them all on here at once. Let's miss that one out for now. Let's put them like that. So your grip in your scan mat is better up towards the top where it joins. Once you get down here it's a bit slidey, so I don't tend to use lots and lots of items. It's better to scan individually. So you're going to lift your cover and slide them underneath. But you also don't want to slide them right up to the top, so it's a little bit like when you're working with your cutting mat. It can't scan edge to edge, so it's worth just bringing it in a little bit. It's not quite a 12x12 scanner, which is a shame because otherwise it would be ideal for doing your scrapbook layouts. So you have a digital copy. Now I'm trying to get this as level as possible. Okay. Let's drop down the hatch. I'm going to load it in. Going to go to scan to USB. Now at this point, if we go into the settings, you've got different sizes that you can scan to. So if I go into there, you see it gives you the option for 12 by 12, letter, A4, 8 by 8. So 12 by 12 means it's going to scan all of those as one image, which means that we can then go into photo and just crop it. Mr. Facebook got a person alongside him this morning. He said, I got his naughty at all. Yeah, is Facebook misbehaving? So, let's move this round. So, maybe we can see a bit better. There we go. So, 12 by 12, letter A4, 8 by 8. And we can scroll using the buttons on the side. So, you've got 5 by 7, 4 by 6. Then 3.5 by 5 inches. If you've got the larger scan mat, you can do 24 by 12. Now 24 by 12 scanning is only possible, I believe, on the 700 and upwards. Okay. Then one more. You have a custom size if you want to. So I haven't done this in ages, so let's go custom, shall we? So if we know our sizes, then we can adjust that automatically. But if we use our background scan, ooh, it's buffering. Okay. Mum, can you tell me how it is on YouTube? Are you getting any buffering on there? Or do I send nobody across to YouTube? The good thing about buffering is it does fix it when you watch it back after. Usually, unless Facebook's having a real off day. Okay. So at this point we can drag our handles in the same way as if we're tracing. There we go. And we can go OK, and it's just going to scan that first photo to start with. We also have scan resolution. Now on the CMs you're going to go 300 and below. On the DXs you should be able to go 600 and below. Okay, everybody over to YouTube then, because it's okay on YouTube, so it is Facebook that is playing up. So I will see you all on YouTube, hopefully. If you don't know how to find me on YouTube, it is just a case of just search Plannercraft, or if you want the really long address, it's youtube.com/c/Plannercraft, when I can put my teeth in. There we go. And you will see at the top of the page that it has a live. Go on that and you'll be back into watching this stream. And I will try not to do anything for a few moments while you all head over that way. Okay. Hi Linda on YouTube. Tracy, we were just saying that Facebook is playing up, so everybody's swapping to YouTube. And hi Carol on YouTube. Okay. Just give you a few more moments to get there. I'm going to go OK, because we want it 300 dpi. OK, and we can go play. That's going to scan our first image. Hi Theo! And you're going to see it says that it's saved it to image/00001.jpg. So what that actually means is there's a folder that it's put on the USB that is called image, so img, and then it's called the file name 00001. Okay? Okay. Now I think that may have overwritten something that was already on there. It's not an issue. Now we're going to go back again. We're going to go into our custom. Okay. We've still got our background scan from before, so we can move our right bottom arrow to the bottom corner of our photo. I don't mind if it crops the photo a tad, but let's see if we go. Oh dear, Tracy. Okay, okay, and press play, and it's going to scan the next one. It's going to jump now to 8, so perhaps number 1 had gone already. So next we can go OK, and it's going to go back to the scan screen. So at this point we don't need to unload a map, we can just slide out the photos and we can put in the next batch. And we're going to do that background scan again. Press play. So is YouTube better? Because I'm getting red lights. Okay. So, I've managed to get my photo more or less the same place. So I can go OK, OK, and scan that one first of all. Go OK, scan to USB. Custom, drag that across and just down a touch. And okay, okay, and go again. Cool, that's good to know that YouTube's behaving, because yeah, it's not good at this end at all. So I have a little monitor that tells me how the stream's going, in terms of stream health, and it's at red. You don't usually see it red.
Resuming your most recently purchased phone.
Oh, shut up. Alexa, stop. Gee, she's annoying. Right, next one. Naughty Alexa. Okay. How did what I say sound like? Whatever. Okay. And back we go again. Custom. Okay. Background scan. Yep, that's one way of doing it here. The only thing I would say is well, when photos move, there's a potential there for further improvement by adding the little contrast strip at the top. So I just twisted that slightly. There we go. Hi Deb. What we're all saying is if you watch on YouTube it's better quality this morning than what is on Facebook. Facebook is having some buffering issues. And we're nearly done. So, let's try and do it slightly differently this time. Let's move my photo quick. So it's 7 by 4. It would have to be awkward, wouldn't it? I'm going to scan it upside down because then I can crop off this area here. And if you look at your scan mat, bottom, you'll see that you've got some guides here about where the sizes fit on the mat. So I want to do a 4x6 scan, which is F. So we have F along here. And let's go up into this top corner. And I'm going to pop that there. I'm going to go to scan to USB. Now this time, instead of using custom, I'm going to go back up. I'm going to use that 4x6. Okay. Go OK. OK. And play. Okay. And unload. So now we have all of our scans on USB. Now I'm going to swap over cameras back to display, so bear with me one moment. I am going to switch temporarily to swapping cameras, just so I can get to the screen where it needs to go. So bear with, I'll be back in 5. Okay, so welcome back. That wasn't too long. So, I've moved into Canvas. And let's zoom in a little. Now, I can't see your comments just at the moment. So, bear with me one moment. And, that's going to be an interesting one. I will flip backwards and forwards. So, Tracy, if there is anything that comes up as a question, if you want to ping it through to me on Facebook Messenger, and I can do it that way, I think. Might be the easiest. Only if there's a question there, and I'll have that open. Right. So, with our blank page, I was thinking it'd be really cool to do like a scrapbook layout with a grid and photos, and talk to you about how we can use photos in Canvas without necessarily having to trace them. So, I'm going to go to File and Import from your computer. So, because we've now attached our USB stick to our computer, it can go in there and find it. Now, it's going to be going a bit slow because I have also got Affinity Designer open in the background, so bear with it. And we're going to go to no name, because I haven't given it a name, so it comes up as no name. I'm going to scroll down to image. Oh, that's interesting. I've just realised the Canvas update's broken the preview for the FCM. There we go. It's just been a bit slow. So there's our first photo. 00001. Hi, Ian. We're going to go to open. And it's going to think about it. Now, one of the most common mistakes I see in terms of using images with the scan and cut is that at this point people go, right, okay, I sent it to my machine and it didn't cut out. It's a photo. It's not going to cut out. So, if we go over to our layers palette, you can see it's quite clearly says image. Anything that says image is never going to cut out of your machine. It needs to be a shape. Okay? So, what can we do with it? Well, I use this kind of image as a reference. So what we can then do is go, actually, I'd really like to cut it out. So, now I was going to go all lovey-dovey and do it all hearts, but I don't think that's going to work because of Ian's head being too close to the top of the photo. So, let's go for circles, and let's go for something that's a little bit different. So, let's go scallop circle. And to help us be able to see it better, I'm going to change the line colour, and I'm going to go to white, because our photo is quite dark. Now, if you're using a light photo, you can leave it on black, and we can resize it. So I'm just dragging a corner inwards to make it smaller. And we can even nudge it with the keyboard if you want to. So if you press and hold shift and use your arrow keys, it's going to jump. Okay? If you just use your arrow keys on their own, it's going to nudge. So you can see when I'm going up and down, it's doing little nudges. When I press and hold shift and go sideways, it's going to do a big jump. So there is our first photo done. Now, for now, I'm going to group those together. Well, actually, before I do that, select your shape, copy it. So that's Control and C or Command and C if you're on a Mac. And I'm going to select those two shapes and I'm going to group them together. And I'm going to hide that group for now, because we can come back and look at that in a bit. I'm going to paste, so Control and V or Command and V to paste it back in. And it's going to look like it's not there because it's still got that white stroke on it. So if we change that to black so that we can see it, like so, I'm going to move it across, and let's go back there, and right click on it, and we're going to go fill page. There you go. So we now have a lovely grid made up of that one shape. It's consistent throughout. So what you can do at this stage is I'm going to group that, and we can call that the scrapbook paper layer. And you might choose to draw those so you have a reference for where to stick your photos, or you might cut it and use it as an aperture. So if you think back to our original photo that we created that sign from, and I'll just hide that away, that could be that this shape here is just the aperture that's overlaying. You don't have to necessarily cut out your photo, so you can just pop it over the top manually and do it that way. That is absolutely fine. Then you can just trim it from the back. But you've kind of used that as a sort of template. Now, let's say you start off with that. How do you use your images where you've already got a layout that is started? So, first of all, I'm going to lock that scrapbook layer because we don't want to accidentally move anything, because we know at the moment everything is in a grid and it's all perfect. So next we can go to File, Import from your computer, and let's go to number 8. Now number 8 is a good one to show you because first of all it's in the wrong orientation, so we can still rotate our images. And if we press Alt Shift, it should go to a right angle. Okay, we can position it roughly. Then in our layers palette, we can drop it down beneath our shape. So I want to take it right down here. So you can just about see, there's your outline around. Now obviously for what we want, we probably want a bit more of that photo in, but you're limited because of how big that shape is. So you can bring it in a little bit. And this is where you can start to use Canvas to actually give you sizes to resize your photo to. I'm going to nudge that right over there. Because it's not the people that are important, it's the train. There we go. So then, when we go into properties, we're in edit. We've got our sizes that we need to resize this photo to. So then we can take that through into our photo program, whichever one you want to use it, be it Photoshop or Affinity Photo or whatever, and that is what you are going to resize your photo. So you're not cropping to that size, you are resizing it, so you're shrinking that whole photo in. Okay. Now obviously if you're doing all of this in Affinity, then it's a whole different kettle of fish, because you can print all your photos from Affinity too. But because we don't have that print option in Canvas, we kind of have to go, well, we'll go and do that in another program, print it out, and then we'll bring that through into our assembly process. So any questions? That's the only from Tracy. So what I will do for today is I will leave this now. Again, I'm going to let you play with your photos so that you get some scanned in, and then tomorrow we will actually have a go at putting it together in Canvas from start to finish. So is there anybody who needs help with resizing photos or doesn't have Affinity? Let me know. Obviously I can't see comments at the moment. If I put, actually, I'm going to flick you back over to I'll put it back on the overhead. Okay, so no questions. So when we're using images in Canvas, like I said, you can't use them to cut, but you can use them as a guide for resizing the image like we did with the train. So there's two ways of working with them. And if you just want to use it as a scanner, that file now exists as just a JPEG that you could email to somebody if need be. So before I go, are there any like me to do a video on resizing photos tomorrow rather than doing a whole put it together project? Oh, good. Okay. So I think what I'll do tomorrow is I'll split it into two halves. So I will start with resizing images and then how we can do it in Canvas. So hopefully that goes a lot. So we've kind of already done a little bit on the Canvas side. So we can do the resizing first thing. Okay, so I will make a note of the size of the photos so I can do that tomorrow with you all. You lost me for a minute. Oh no. Did everybody lose me for a minute? Oh no. So what I was saying was, no. I did wonder when all the chat sort of wiped itself. If that was because it is lost connection. Oh, excuse me. I need my cup of tea. So, first thing I'll be doing resized photo in Affinity Photo, but you can do the same in Photoshop. Then I will take that through into should I go Canvas or Affinity? Kind of already halfway there with Canvas, so I think I might just stick with Canvas. If you'd like me to show you the process in Affinity too, just let me know in comments if you can hear me. So, resize train photo to 87.6 by 150.9. No. There we go. So you can hear me now. Okay, that's fine. So if anybody would like me to go in a bit more detail about photo editing, let me know. We did do a course on it, which is also worth having a look at. And I will see you tomorrow. And tomorrow's a bit mad. So we have a stream at 8, which would be our usual stream here. And then there is another one at 10 o'clock, which is going to be on the Pretty Gets Gritty page. So I'm going to take up your morning tomorrow, so I do apologise. and hopefully the stream will hold a bit better on Facebook because I don't get to go tomorrow. Bye.